he's in a couple of outfits that started brokering transactions using electronic dollars, and they got busted, put in jail.
See, that's another problem with the socialist police state. It tends to outlaw normal activity and throw people in jail that are otherwise perfectly normal and honest.
Yeah, it says that no one was killed in the process of brokering,
right.
a transaction.
All participants were willing.
Yep.
And yet they got busted.
Well, all we can hope is that within the current system we have, it looks like there is a lot of sentiment brewing to sweep out the Democratic majorities, and like there was in 1994. So hopefully that will repeat, and that could put us on the...
Boy, I don't know. It depends on how the public takes this health care thing. That's the pivotal issue. I think if they pass a health care bill, and well, there's two issues. There's the health care bill and there's the cap and trade. If the Democrats pass those two issues, or either one or both, and the public doesn't like it, then the Democrats are going to be history. But if the public does like it, we're going to have Democrats for a while.
Oh, that's possible. They are trying to change the names of the health care, like the public option. They're going to say, okay, no, it's not socialized medicine. It's a co-op, and they want to get the same thing but just rename it.
Basically, what they're trying to do is they're trying to throw a lot of mandates on individuals as well as businesses, and then subsidize the system with taxpayers' money, and that whole kind of network is going to be a disaster. Right. So, just hold on to your seat, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully they will have a way to defeat it. And right now, the airwaves, talk radio and television, alternate, more conservative or libertarian thoughts are getting through much better, even than when Hillary was trying.
The public was split roughly, half and half supporting this thing. So it's amazing how many socialists out there think that the government taxpayers should give them health care for free.
Well, that's true, but there has been probably a 10% swing in the last few weeks. So maybe I hope some of that trend continues. I can't continue much longer. There are some pretty dyed-in-the-wool statists out there that aren't.
Well, I'm a little worried about it because a lot of the objections to the health care plan are based on pretty flimsy arguments, and these are being attacked by the supporters, and the flimsiness of their arguments is being exposed. So I'm not optimistic that the people who are opposed to the health care plan are going to win. I think they're making arguments that are not sound. Either that, or the supporters are setting up straw man type arguments so they can knock them down.
Yeah, the one with the argument about death panels is one that keeps resonating.
Yeah, that's a straw man argument. That's not going to. Actually, if you had a death panel, that would be a good thing. It's starting to say that, but the way the system would work is that the costs go spiraling out of control because there's no controls on the cost, and then the taxpayers look at their paychecks, their stubs every month, and they say, hey, wait a minute, the government's taking more than half of my earnings to pay other people's health care. Something's got to be done. So then they start doing something like putting in death committees or whatever you want to say. Hey, we can't afford to spend $300,000 on somebody that's going to die in a year anyway because he's so old. So, that all makes sense. But, of course, the government is never going to do that. What they're going to do is they're just going to put people on waiting lists and let them die. That's the way they do it in Europe and everywhere else.
Right. And that's the better argument, is to compare those systems and show what's going on in Canada and the UK.
Very much. That's exactly where we should be. We should be comparing this to the failed socialist healthcare systems all over the world. There isn't anyone that is successful. They're going back to free market reforms in all those countries now. So, they're just going in the opposite direction from where we are. We're behind 20 or 30 years.
Right. A lot of the socialized Eastern Bloc countries and other European countries and Asian countries are privatizing healthcare more. So we're behind the trend.
You'd think that we'd be smart enough to learn from their mistakes, but no, we're not.
No, there's still a lot of fairy tale sentiment.
And then Massachusetts was supposed to, it just was set up just 3 or 4, I don't know how many years ago, not too long ago, and the costs ballooned out of control, the system's a mess, and then they're basically using that as the model for the national. They're just ignoring the experience and just taking that as their model for this new healthcare bill. And you'd think that they would have learned something, but no, they don't. They don't learn anything. They don't want to learn anything. They just want to impose the system.
Yeah, the facts are very much inconvenient things when you go to
an ideology.
Right.
They don't like profit. They don't like competition. They don't like the free market. They want socialism, and they don't care how many people die. That's the way they want it.
Right, because of their fairy tale idea of equality, and
that's right. It's an equality thing. They don't like the idea that rich people might get better health care than poor people. That's the problem.
Right. It's kindergarten mentality. It's like it's the old.
It's not fair, they say.
Right. The old thing when you brought your candy to school, when you were if you brought a packet full of candy and you were eating it and handing it to your friends, and the teacher says, "All right, do you have enough for everybody?"
Yeah.
And if the kid admits he's got not enough for everybody, she takes it away, and nobody gets any.
Yeah.
That's the morality that they operate off of.
Well, what do you expect from a public school?
Yeah, well, if I was running a private school, I would say I'd allow kids to bring things in and sell them.
Yeah, you're a free market advocate.
Yeah. All right, Dan. Well,
we're about out of time, aren't we?
That's right. Yeah. Well, thanks for shedding light on all these simultaneously oppressive issues that seem to be raining down on our heads, and hopefully we keep up the fight, and we'll put up some of these recordings and sort them out, because we always kind of drift around it. But I always find that we're topical with some pretty hard-hitting stuff going right after the Fed, going right after these the healthcare debacle and the nationalizations. That there's a lot of interest out there in it, and hopefully this next phase of programs I do, where we're going to go a little more directly after the opposition, will get some attention, and we can expose some of their vices and have some fun with it. But
you're not going to call Michael Moore, are you?
No, I'm not going to go for that. He's a little bit too big of a target right now in many ways.
Well, I hope that wasn't a comment on his weight.
No. I think he's not a guy I can go after. I got to start small, Dan. I think let's go with your lower level advocates, the ones that are a little less. They already they have their defenses, those big guys. So I'm gonna start low with the little guys, and let's move it up from there. Well, so I'm giving away too much, but we'll have this thing up and running hopefully next month, and we'll have you comment on some of our findings.
Okay, I'll do my best.
All right, thanks. So let's plug the meeting next week. You got it next Tuesday. What would that be? The 19th. Let's calculate it. 25th.
25th.
The 25th night, evening of the 25th in Denny's in Glendora, where we will be meeting a libertarian meeting for the East San Gabriel Valley region, and everyone's welcome. That will start at 7:30, I believe.
Correct.
Okay, great. I plan to be there. Thanks very much again, Dan.
Okay, Joe. It's been a pleasure as usual.
All right, thanks.
Okay,
Talk to you later. Bye.